The family of Dr. Linda Davis in Savannah, Georgia, they are left wondering why she had to die when she did nothing wrong. Davis was killed on February 16th after authorities reported that 38-year-old Oscar Vasquez Lopez, who was fleeing an ICE traffic stop, ran a red light and collided with her vehicle. Vasquez is charged with vehicular homicide, reckless driving, driving without a valid license, and failure to obey a traffic control device. Now local leaders are questioning ICE enforcement tactics, highlighting that the Chatham County Police Department adheres to strict pursuit policies, suggesting that better coordination could have prevented this tragedy. ICE operates under the Department of Homeland Security. The most recent publicly available Department of Homeland Security Emergency Driving Handbook from 2012 states that federal officers must notify federal dispatch and their supervisor when initiating a stop or pursuit. However, there's no obligation to inform local law enforcement in advance. According to the DHS handbook, there are two classifications of vehicle pursuits: low-risk pursuits involving less severe crimes, where officers believe the chase can be conducted safely and at reasonable speeds, plus high-risk pursuits pertaining to serious or violent crimes where the suspect poses a greater threat, necessitating immediate capture that must clearly outweigh the potential danger to the public. Officers are expected to continuously reassess the situation and terminate the pursuit if the risk becomes too high. Now, the problem here is that's not what they've done. We have seen all across the country how ICE has operated with impunity, really doing whatever it is that they want. And as we said, so many people have been talking about this woman and what happened to her and how and what the actual impact is. And so it is certainly unfortunate. She was a dedicated K through 8 teacher, beloved in the community. And again, so many people there are talking about who she was and what she meant to the community. This here is this here is a local news story that was run on.
That's right. And has K through 8 confirming that Dr. Linda Davis was killed in a car wreck just blocks from the school at Whitfield Avenue. The cause, a man without legal status fleeing a traffic stop with immigration's enforcement. WJCL 22 News' Lydia Blackstone is live now. And Lydia, tell us more about how this crash happened.
Good evening, Greg and Shannon. The Department of Homeland Services says that a man was fleeing ICE officials when he ran a red light and took an illegal U-turn right here. This is the exit you would take when going onto the Truman Parkway. It was then that he hit and killed a Chatham County educator.
Broken glass and bent car frames being taken off the roadways in Chatham County after an early morning crash. The deceased, a beloved special education teacher, Dr. Linda Davis, who worked less than a mile away at Hess K through 8. While students were out for President's Day, Monday was a work day for teachers like Dr. Davis. The school responding, releasing a statement saying, "We should all expect and try to understand that there will be a variety of emotions and responses as to what has occurred. The most important thing we can do is to be supportive and encourage an open expression of feelings." As for what led up to it, police say ICE officers initially attempted a traffic stop of 38-year-old Oscar Vasquez Lopez. The Department of Homeland Security says he was initially stopped, then sped away, running a red light and making an illegal U-turn, which caused the deadly collision. DHS releasing this photo, saying he was in the country illegally from Guatemala. Vasquez Lopez has been charged with reckless driving, driving without a valid license, vehicular homicide, and other offenses. ICE policy says in regards to a situation like this, ICE officials use reasonable and necessary force when someone resists arrest. ICE officers and agents prioritize safety, including the safety of the people that they arrest, and are highly trained in de-escalation. Vasquez Lopez is currently in custody in the hospital. Authorities say he did not suffer serious injuries in the crash.
Bring my panel right now, Dr. Ame Congo, Dominguez Senior Professor of Lecture, School of International Service, American University, author of Lies About Black People, How to Combat Racism, joining us from D.C. Thelma Anderson, creator, The Public Opinion Court, and author, Shut Up and Prosecute. Attorney A. Scott Bolden, who joins us now, attorney from Washington, D.C. as well. Glad to have all three of y'all here. Let's get right into it. Scott, I want to start with you. Obviously, this is highly unfortunate. what we saw take place here. And but the fundamental problem that we're facing here, Scott, that we're really dealing with, the actions of ICE and how they operate with impunity, and how these officers really believe just frankly do whatever it is the hell they want.
And then the PR on it from Department of Homeland Security is that they're well trained, and they're well trained in de-escalation. Well, that's just complete bullshit, and we've seen it over and over again. You know, if you're here illegally and waiting on an asylum versus being here illegally and committing violent crimes, Homeland Security still identifies you as a criminal, which is why they act violently and aggressively and through military means or military equipment to remove folks who are here illegally. It's one and the same. They've bastardized the definition of a criminal or criminal conduct. So if you came here illegally and you're waiting on an asylum hearing, you know, that's like having disorderly conduct or getting a ticket, if you will. That really is. That's really all it is. And so they're working. They may have a green card, social security number, what have you, but they're paying taxes and they're waiting on their asylum hearing. That does not equate to a rapist or a murderer. And so when you have these high pursuits, most urban centers, police don't really even pursue high speed chases because of how dangerous they are, unless it's a violent crime or they're trying to protect the public or yourself. Someone fleeing ICE because they're here illegally just doesn't cut the mustard, not even under DHS rules.
Absolutely. It is, you know, Thelma, it's really rough to sit here and as you look at this story, and you know, and here was just a woman just trying to mind her business. This is a photo that was disseminated again of just a beloved educator. Everything we've read about her, and again, she's no longer with us. And we've done these stories so many times when these officers are pursuing someone and they move with reckless abandon, as if someone else cannot be killed. And we've seen way too many stories in Houston and other places where there have been deadly pursuits.
Okay.
Hold up. I think you're on mute.
Let them go.
I think you're on mute. I can't.
But
All right, there we go.
We got to start calling this particular stop what it is. It's a civil, it's not criminal. So therefore, they have no legal reason to commit a pursuit of an individual on a civil matter. Anything that is immigration related, when it comes to the status of an individual, that's a civil, not criminal matter. So you are turning a civil matter into a criminal matter by just continuing to commit an illegal act, because an average individual in the state would be considered committing an illegal act, which is pursuing someone that you do not have the legal authority to. ICE does not have the legal authority to pursue anyone in a vehicle, and especially put other individuals who are on the road in danger. ICE put everyone in danger for attempting to stop someone for a civil infraction when they know they do not have the authority to do so. They know they're supposed to contact law enforcement, the local law enforcement, and local law enforcement even said that they should not have pursued this individual. They created a danger to the community. And I do not understand, if you create a danger, because we know that ICE, the type of vehicles that they have, does not identify them as law enforcement. These are rental vehicles because, one, they are not supposed to be in these communities at any point at this time because it's not a need. But for this reckless ass administration, putting these individuals who are dangerous to the community, showing up and trying to stop someone in an unmarked vehicle, when we know the law in every Supreme Court case would say that you got to make yourself known. You got to announce who you is. You have to have reasonable suspicion, probable cause in order to do anything law enforcement related when we're talking about approaching an individual, and to know that these fools don't even have the legal authority to stop anyone because you don't have that power. But they have been injected with this false sense of power. Now they are creating casualties everywhere they go. And in my opinion, they are the ones that should be charged for this crime because they committed the ultimate crime.
Congo, the point that Thelma makes there is that it's civil, but the actions of these ICE folks, it's as if they are pursuing Osama bin Laden.
Absolutely. And that's how they've labeled everybody who they pursue, whether we're talking about Renee Nicole Good or Alex Freddie, right? They call them a terrorist and a would-be assassin. And I'm very surprised that they haven't put out any language or rhetoric relating to Linda Davis about this. And quite honestly, Roland, the coverage of this is so appreciative because I haven't seen this on other networks. I've seen it on social media and other articles, but I haven't seen, enough attention devoted to her life. And the fact of the matter is that ICE has been killing people across the country in the detention centers. Like over 30 people have died. A story just came out about a man named Ruben Ray Martinez, age 23 in Texas, who was shot and killed by ICE last year. And here you have a beloved teacher in her community, Linda Davis, whose name needs to be uplifted and her community needs to be uplifted, who is just gone. And this is also a reminder, unfortunately, to many Black people who said that this ICE stuff is not our problem. I saw a video of an arrest in Chicago where they were putting a Black man in a chokehold and one Black man yelled out, "Y'all only supposed to be arresting Mexicans." This stuff affects all of our communities, as in the extreme tragic events as Linda Davis, but also in some of the, extra effects that are in our communities as well. And we have to speak up. We have to tell her story. We have to tell the story of Keith Porter, who most people don't talk about, but we do here as well. This is an American issue and it's affecting Black people as well. And I'm afraid that there are other Linda Davises out there that we're not even knowing about right now because ICE is treating everybody, like you said, like they are bin Laden. And they feel like, and as Stephen Miller said, what was his language? You're unleashed. And JD Vance, you have absolute immunity. And that type of language is empowering these people to go and commit these acts.